Many Christian couples love God deeply, but quietly struggle in their sex lives. God's plan for marital intimacy is both beautiful, practical, and learnable. My name is Doshima Olive. Thank you for tuning in today. If this is your first time here, please kindly click the subscribe button, like, and share the video. And if you've been here before, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I serve as an assistant pastor at House on the Rock, the McCarty City Church, and I'm passionate about building godly marriages. Today, we are going to talk about sex. If you are single, you're not my guest. Please, go and sleep. The Bible tells us in Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 that my people perish for lack of knowledge. The Bible tells us wisdom is the principal thing. In all you're getting, get understanding. In this video, we're going to be talking about the differences between men and women and how to improve our sex lives. It surprises a lot of people that being married, speaking in tongues, praying for long hours doesn't necessarily give them a great sex life. So what then does? The first thing we need to know as children of God is that God's will is for us to enjoy beautiful sex. He created it. And it starts with understanding the difference between men and women. Men and women see sex differently. Men and women probably respond to sex differently. And what are these differences? When we know them, we know what to do next, and we can both work toward meeting each other halfway. Number one thing, for men, sex is a physical activity, while for women, it is emotional. Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory said that sex to a man is like gasoline to a car. He needs it to function. For a woman, sex is not necessarily like that. It is something pleasurable, but something she can even do without for a while. And if you don't have understanding, that is when a woman sees a man as if, is it that you can't do without this? Is it food? But when you understand that they need it to function, we understand why they approach it the way they do. For men, sex is a physical activity. For a woman, it is emotional. A man can have sex even with his enemy. But for a woman, there has to be a connection. That is why when a woman cheats, almost the whole world freaks out because they know she's gone. But a man may cheat and tell you he wasn't even in love or didn't have an emotional attachment to that. Now, as believers, of course, we're not expected to cheat. I use that example just to explain the physical and the emotional connection and attachments that we have to sex. Number three thing, a man is turned on by what he sees. A woman is turned on by what she hears. So a man can wake up in the morning and he's having an erection. For a woman, she needs to be built into that mood. Number four thing, a man can have sex even when he's stressed out. For him, it is stress relief, it's recreation, it is fun. For a woman, her mind is all jumbled up and everything needs to be sorted out before she can enjoy it. So when a woman is stressed out, she may not be able to respond to sex. And it can be strange to a man, like, why can't she just function? This is the time we need it. And she's thinking when her problem is solved, then she can have sex. But the man is thinking he can have sex and then solve his problem afterward. Knowing a few of these differences between us men and women, what can we do in order to enjoy beautiful sex? Number one thing I want to talk about today, build emotional intimacy with your partner. Like I said when I was talking about the differences between men and women when it comes to sex, a man sees it as a physical activity, but for a woman, it is purely emotional. So what can you do as a man? Try to build emotional intimacy with your partner, your wife. How do you do that? By communication, listening to her. So you try to get into her feelings. Most of those things that men feel are just chatter, women chattering all the time, and oh gosh, you don't even know what you're saying. Like some people say to their wives. You need to listen to your partner, carry them along, make friends with them. These are intentional steps that people who are married need to do. You are in a long-term relationship. You need to connect not only on the bed, not only when it is time for the action. You need to build emotional intimacy through this communication and being friendly, being nice, being kind, letting them into your space and into your heart. That is the way emotional intimacy is built. When there is emotional intimacy between a couple, sex is hardly a problem because they their friends, the woman feels safe around the man. And the woman too needs to understand that because for a man, sex is a physical activity and it is a need. She can now also connect with him, even if he has not fully met, although it's very important. If you want to get the best, meet the need. But if he may not fully, give all of that time, she can go ahead and be responsive. Number 2, maintain good hygiene. I heard the story of a couple. The man reported to his friend that his wife doesn't like to have sex with him. These are godly people. And so the friend asked the wife, what is wrong now? My friend said you don't want to have sex with him. And she told him, you see, your friend is too dirty. Sometimes he removes his trouser and you see marks of feces on it. He doesn't take care of himself. I mean, you will be shocked that that is a problem. Maintaining good hygiene, whether a man or a woman, can affect your sex life. Brush your teeth, shave your armpits, and all of the other places and the places that people can't see. Wearing clean garments, keeping your bed sheets clean, using a bit of cologne when you want to come and meet your partner. Very key. Good grooming. Shaving and keeping your body clean can make you attractive to the other person. In the case of this woman, she was turned off by his smell. So there were times that he will come to her. He wants to have sex and she's just turned off by the smells and whatever, even if she's ready. So we need to be careful, maintaining good hygiene. Dirt and bad smells can be a complete turn off, even when you really love your partner. I know there are certain people who believe they don't wear cologne, or they just feel they've been together so long and nothing really matters. No, a lot matters. Number 3, keeping fit. Exercise your body. When you're smart and active, you'll be able to be more sexy. For both men and women, this matters. Now, I have a special message to my sisters, the women. Frequent sex can also make your vagina slack. Childbirth can make your vagina slack. So what does a woman need to do? It's important that she exercises the vagina so that it retains firmness and it's, elastic, and it's something that will be pleasurable to her partner. How do you do that? There are several ways. I've heard of certain traditional ways, but the one thing I recommend is the Kegel exercise. I learned about that Kegel exercise in the book, The Act of Marriage by Tim LaHaye. The Kegel exercise exercises the muscle that controls urine. Okay, maybe I'll do a special video on that. But Kegel exercise, they are very simple. The muscle that you use to control urine, if you contract it and relax it, that is doing your exercise. And you can do that anywhere. Nobody will even know what you're doing. It doesn't take any effort. Just that effort you use to stop your urine when you're in the bathroom is the same way you perform the Kegel exercise. So you can do 100 Kegel exercises in a few seconds, less than a minute, and you're done. It makes the vagina firm. After childbirth, a woman can be slack, and that will not allow her partner to enjoy much pleasure. Keeping fit. When you become too flabby, you may not be attracted. I heard a story of a man who complained to his friend again that he wasn't able to have sex with his wife. And when his friend asked him why, he said because the woman looks like an elephant on the bed. When she climbs the bed, she just fills the whole place. Probably she wasn't that way before. But exercise can help. Keeping fit. There are a lot of people who are chubby but smart and very attractive too. So that should not be a reason why you're not enjoying your sex life. A man is moved by what he sees. It's important that we pay attention to how we look. Women are also attracted to what they see. Not just men, even though it's stronger for men. Looking good will make your partner appeal to you, or you appeal to your partner more than if you just look shabby. So it's important that even though we love God, we care, we're God-fearing people, it doesn't mean we should neglect our appearance. There are some cases where, in a bid to show how much we love God, we neglect our appearance. Number 5, in a marriage relationship, sometimes you approach your partner when they are not ready. It is helpful that we also practice some level of self-control. Yes, sometimes the other person may not be ready for a very good cause. The person is probably stressed out, having a headache, or not feeling too well. I've heard some men say their wives are always having headache. It may help if you can help relieve her stress a bit. It's not fair if, like when people who have young children, you come home, there's probably no helper in the house, the wife is running around trying to do something, and the man is just sitting down there on his phone or on his laptop. By the time they get to bed, the woman may be exhausted. If she says she's having headache, you can't start saying she's not having headache. It will be only fair if the man can be kind. By the time you rise up to assist her, there is no way you will come and tap her later and she will tell you she's tired. She will be in the mood. Because in doing that, you're even connecting emotionally. So being kind, okay, engaging in foreplay, that is already foreplay. Foreplay is not only touching somebody. I told you, you connect to a woman by the way you treat her. It begins from the morning, not just appearing out of the blues. After you didn't talk to somebody, you were not kind to the person, you weren't sweet to the person, and you just appear. That it won't give you the kind of result that you want. But being kind, being involved, and showing care, that's already foreplay. By the time you get to the bed, she might even be the one going for you. One thing to note, because men are turned on instantly, and for a woman, she's more like a hot plate. It takes her some time. When you get into the action field, you should take it easy. A woman may need to step up and know that, okay, for a man, he's already ready. So her responsive attitude will help a lot in her coming on, quite on time instead of taking forever. And the man too will have to be considerate. What do you do after the whole activity? Don't just run off. It's important that you stay together to bond as much as possible. This doesn't have to happen every single time. There should be allowances where people do what the world calls quickie. Yeah, it's not all the time you have all the time to just keep staying there trying to, coax one another. There should be that meeting point halfway. And after the activity, that there should be some physical touch. When for a man, once he's done, he's probably done, wants to go off snoring. It might be important to have some loving, nice conversations and, something romantic. Number 6, you can postpone pleasure, but don't deprive one another. What do I mean? If your partner was not ready at a certain time, your partner should make sure that within a short time, they can meet your need. Not outrightly going away. Some people just don't even bother anymore. They refuse and they're gone. No. If there was need, like somebody was running off to a meeting or running off to school, you should know, okay, as soon as you get back, you should attend to that need because a request was made. One of the great things that God did for us, men are initiators and women are responders. Men have the capacity to respond to the request of their man. That does not mean a woman should not initiate, especially when your husband wants you to. It's okay to initiate, but if you look at it naturally, God created women as responders. That's why even when you look at the animals, you look at stuff like chickens. You see the way the cock runs after the hen when they want to mate. It is a natural thing. It's more interesting. Although nowadays, a lot of people also want their women to initiate. It's not a bad thing as long as both of you are okay with it. And the last thing I would like to mention for now in this video, I haven't talked about every single thing that I want to touch on, but I believe I'm going to do other videos that will buttress my points some more. Pray about your sex life. Yes, the Bible tells us pray about everything. Philippians 4 verse 6, do not be anxious about anything. Pray about everything. What do you want to see in your sex life? You can take it to God in prayer and God will make it more and more beautiful. He will renew the wine. He will refresh it. I'm telling you, you don't need a new man or a new woman to enjoy sex. Don't think you will be bored. It's a lie. We were told before we got married, oh, after 1 year, it will be this. After 5 years, it will be this. After 10 years, it will be this. After 15 years, I'm telling you, I've known from experience, it is not true. As long as you're doing the right thing, you're both connecting emotionally and you're keeping your union strong. Sex is always beautiful and always new, like you just met the person. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. And I pray that every godly marriage will enjoy the beauty of sex that God created and God intended for. And you will not need to look elsewhere for anything more. Have a wonderful time. I'm praying that the Lord will bless your home in Jesus' name. Amen.